sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
This show contains some viewers may find listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Remember, the Jersey Takeover is here. We've expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com, click on the chat room, join the conversation. Starting this past Friday, I now do live streaming also, live video streaming. You can go to Reaver.one. That's my website, and click on the live stream button, and it will take you to the live stream. So, this happened the other night, and it happened for 2 nights in a row. I had issues on a certain page on Facebook, the official Florida Tea Party. And they really should name it the... hang on. Wrong mouse. Yes, see, I'm surprised I'm all this hyper this early. And I didn't get to sleep till like 5 o'clock this morning. I'm still not feeling good. I could talk better. It's going down, so... But for the second, like I said, I had problems, and really after this last little bit that happened, they really need to rename the page Anti-Free Speech page. Because if you said anything that was pro-Trump, you were met with attacks, as I have shown on, I talked about it Friday. I had posted screenshots of all these attacks. It's not that I can take the attacks, it's... You want to insult me? Fine, we'll go toe-to-toe. I did it with someone last night. We went toe-to-toe. And so we're going on this on one comment, and we're going back and forth. And he's telling me I'm going to go to hell if I don't vote for Cruz. God's going to punish me if I don't vote for Cruz. Oh, God's going to do this. And he's speaking on God's behalf, as a lot of Cruz supporters do. They think they have a direct line to God, and they can speak on behalf of God, and then tell me that I'm a bad Christian because, well, I don't buy into their bullshit. You want to do that, that's fine. What I found funny with him is he had to send me a private message telling me I'm a flamer, and then tells me I'm a flamer just, it has nothing to do with sexual preference. It has to deal with who I vote with. Yeah, that makes sense. I called him out in public that he called me a flamer, and then, because I put it right back into the forums. You want to do that, say it out in the world. Don't be scared. You're a homophobic little bastard. And you thought it would piss me off. You thought it'd be funny. And what's really funny with him is he is so much a constitutionalist and so much for free speech, and he thought he was winning so much that he had to block me. I love that. I love when you have to block me. I love it. Why? Because you're too much of a pussy to continue the conversation. You know you're not winning. So the only way you can give the hint to your ego that you won is you block. And he made this big long comment and then hit block right afterwards. I was like, you pussy. And if people want to find out why I'm called Jersey Joe, keep up these attacks and you'll find out why I'm called Jersey Joe. Because then the real asshole comes out in me. Now, I've been trying to play nice, trying to be pleasant, which is not something I normally do. But especially when you attack my wife, make sexual comments about my wife who's not even in the conversation, when you insult my family, game on, bitches. Game on. I am now going to have my fun. You fanboy cruise supporters are a joke. You sit there and you cry on official Florida Tea Party website. We're getting infiltrated. We need to kick these people out and make this a private group. And then justify it. Well, other groups are private and they can say what's said and what's not. Hey, assholes. You're a Florida Tea Party, not pro-Trump or pro-Cruz. You're not either. You're a Tea Party site. You're supposed to be for the Constitution. You're supposed to be for free speech. But instead, because you can't win the conversations, because you want you and your other little fanboy Cruz supporters all huddled up doing a circle jerk with each other. Oh, he's so great. He's so great. Oh, yeah. That's all you want. You don't want to have a conversation. You don't want to hear both sides. You just want to run around doing a circle jerk with each other. Fine. You go ahead and do it. Do me a favor. Rename the group something else because you're not a Florida Tea Party. You are not anywhere near a Tea Party group. You are limiting free speech. You are silencing speech because it does not go to your delicate ears. And then call me a tattooed piece of recycled rat shit. Yeah, that's real great. And when, as I said, he's sitting there attacking me, nitpicking my grammar as he misspelled tattooed. Such an easy word. He's supposed to have paid all this money for all this education. He can't spell a basic word, tattoo. And the problem is, this is the GOPE's fault. That's right, the GOPE, the Grand Old Party establishment. They have caused this volatile atmosphere. This is the worst I've ever seen it. This is everybody attacking each other, and it's not conducive for a good relationship. And they're not making it any better. They keep running their mouths. Mitch McConnell was running his mouth, saying how, everybody will be able to bash Trump, even if he's the nominee. They're going to drop him like a hot rock. Well, McConnell, the problem you have is the people that are backing Trump are tired of bullshit that you were doing. They're tired of politicians like you, Mitch McConnell. And they're going to drop you like a hot rock. They're going to drop you like they put the pressure on about Biner. That's what you don't understand. Is the people that are pissed off are the ones that can drop you, Mr. Speaker. Excuse me, Majority Leader. You are the one that can get dropped fast. I expect this kind of attacks coming from Democrats. I really do. I expect that out of them. I don't expect it out of conservatives. And yes, it is everybody attacking everybody. I am not going to play that the Trump supporters are innocent. And I'll call them out just as fast as I call out Cruz supporters. And when we have conservatives acting like true Alinsky followers, we have a Tea Party looking to silence opposing speech. And this group of people have the gall to call themselves constitutionalists. No true constitutionalist would think about hindering free speech. No constitutionalist would make excuses for hindering free speech. All throughout history, we have heard of people making excuses for the beginning of evil, saying they were doing it for the better of the country. How many times have we heard that? And I've heard all the justifications for why they should make it just a cruise conversation. They can justify the Tea Party only allowing conversations about Cruz. It starts there, and it goes on a downward spiral, gentlemen. Now, let's also take a little trip back to September. Remember the Republican Party pushing Trump to sign a pledge letter saying he would support whoever the nominee was? Remember that big blow up and that big dust up that they did? Well, I do remember that. And I see what the Republican Party is talking about now, and they're reneging on the pledge they made such a fuss about. Remember how the GOP had all the candidates sign it and told Trump how he had to sign it? Now it seems like they're going to try and destroy any chance of winning against Hillary. Remember how they cried over that pledge that Trump running third party would make the GOP lose to Hillary by splitting the vote, that Trump would be Ross Perot. Well, it seems the Republican Party is thinking of running Romney as an independent candidate. If that were to happen, he would then split the Republican vote. He has no chance to win it. He will hand the election over to Hillary. And why do you think Romney all of a sudden is making comments? Because of two reasons. Number one, they're hoping it goes to a convention. And then they're going to nominate Romney. Not Cruz, not Rubio, and both those idiots and their supporters. And we're going to go to a convention and we're going to get nominated. Really? You really that stupid? Oh, boy. But if the GOP goes and does this, it'll be the GOP playing the role of Ross Perot. And if all this bullshit that's going on, all of that is what is called conservative values, count me out. I have morals. I don't know where I got them. I don't know how to get rid of them, but I have morals. And for those that don't have a sense of humor, that was a joke. I'm not a hypocrite. The party is acting exactly how Obama and the Obama supporters acted. And that's across the board. Everybody's acting. And I know I said I'm not taking no more shit, but when you attack my family, you attack my wife. That's when I fight back. That's when I say it's time to stop being nice. What the GOP has done is despicable. It's disgusting. And then they fill Cruz and Rubio's head. This is a perfect strategy. This is what we need to do. And let's see, all weekend I heard Cruz saying 65% of the country does not want Trump as a president. Well, let's go by Cruz's theory, and a new poll came out today. So let's go by Cruz's theory. And Cruz's theory of the 65% of the country does not want to elect Trump is because he was polling at what? 35% at that time. So 65% don't want him. Well, they don't understand the idea of second choices, third choices, and so forth and so on. So we'll go by the old polls, the national polls. And I think they had what? Rubio and Cruz right around 23, 24. Well, that don't look too good for you because that's putting you at like 67, 68% of the country doesn't want you as a president. Now, a new poll, I said, came out. Well, Senator Cruz, it's not looking too good for you or Rubio because you and Rubio are at 15%. That means 85% of the country, by your theory, Senator Cruz, by your theory, 85% of the country does not want Cruz or Rubio as president. And you can say that Trump is down from 65%. He is now down to 51% of the country does not want him as president. That means he's polling at 49%. And how's that for Rubio? I find it absolutely sickening that you think it's smart to make smart-ass comments about Trump's penis. Really? That's your whole campaign coming down to? Making comments about Trump's penis. What are we going to do? All the candidates look like idiots. And I'm tired of hearing people, well, Trump has not turned down the KKK support. Trump has not. Yes, he friggin' has. He's done it on multiple occasions, and you are getting twisted by a CNN. Republican supporters are spewing that crap, and they're following a CNN report. He has disputed and told them no, that he does not want their support on several occasions. CNN hit him the other day out of the blue, and he didn't have the best answers at the time because he got caught off guard. I will admit, he got caught off guard and didn't have an answer at that time. Wasn't smart of him, but what do you expect out of CNN? He had already denied their support on multiple occasions. And now you got people running around, he's a racist. You got a bunch of Republicans running around sounding like Democrats now. He's a racist. Oh, my God. So if I start supporting Hillary Clinton, does that mean she's a Republican? Well, I mean, right now I'm registered Republican. So if I support Hillary, does that make her a Republican? Just because someone says they have support for a candidate, does that mean that that candidate automatically supports them? And you're falling for basic Democrat tactics. And I've never seen it like this before, where candidates and supporters are so willing to lower themselves. Me, I'm a Jersey boy. We have no problem. That's our playtime. And that's what's funny. When these idiots go at me, that's my playtime. That is where I have fun. I have fun when I have idiots like that who think they're better than everybody else going to attack me. Oh, I have fun. Oh, it pisses me off. What pisses me off is when you attack my wife. When you attack my family. Yeah, that's... I love also, last night, I'm not a Christian. Some idiot on the internet said I'm not a Christian and I walk hand in hand with the devil because I won't vote for Cruz. And that's what get me this. Now all of a sudden their supporters think they're God's vessels. And they think Cruz is God's word. Well... That's a false god, and you do not speak for God. That pushes me away from your candidate even more when you pull that crap. I walk away when I start hearing a candidate and their supporters talking like that. I have nothing to do with them. So, Senator Cruz, you might have Glenn Beck dial back on the bullshit. Now, before we go to break, I'm not going to go into a whole segment on it. It's not worth my time. The definition of hypocrisy, though, the definition of hypocrisy. Besides Cruz supporters, celebrities were wearing gun control bracelets at the Oscars last night, while surrounded by massive increase in armed security. How's that for hypocrisy? We're going to say that you can't have guns while we're surrounded by armed personnel. What are we going to do with these people? I know. Listen to Reaver of Common Sense. Right here on HPPundit.com, RebootingLiberty.com, and SHRmedia.com. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying half was stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on SHRmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you missed any of the Reaver of Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show, just go to Reaver.one. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. I've been trying to be good and watch my mouth. I still give that, just in case I do slip. And some of the channels I post to, everyone is different, has different meanings and different definitions of what is acceptable and is not acceptable when you need to put it. So I just put that warning all together on all my shows to cover my bases for all the different media that I post to with my show. I like iHeart and iTunes. They get really picky on what can be said and what isn't offensive and what is and what isn't cursing, so to speak. So, like I said, I just put that up anymore just as overall. Now, this one kind of shocked me because I don't exactly agree with his assessment, but it still shocked me. Governor Kasich has come out and said Trump probably going to win all Super Tuesday. Sunday on CNN's State of the Union, Republican candidate Governor Kasich said of the states voting on Super Tuesday that his rival Donald Trump is probably going to win all of them, which I do not agree with. There's Colorado that Carson has been leading. I don't know if there's any updated polls. I didn't look today. We'll find out tomorrow. But it looked like Carson was going to win. I think it's Colorado. And Texas has been going back and forth with a couple polls from where Trump is tied with Cruz to Cruz has a lead. And North Texas, Trump is leading North Texas. But overall, I will say, and I'll admit that probably Cruz has the lead in Texas, which he should. He should be leading even in North Texas, too. But that's here or there. But Jake Tapper said, well, I mean, no offense, but you haven't won a contest, and it doesn't look like you're going to win any on Tuesday. Kasich responded, no, I think Trump's probably going to win all of them, but you keep holding your own. And we have our campaign plan. I mean, everybody has to do it the way they want to do it. Our way of doing it, our campaign plan has ultimately to, hold our own in some of these places, and we will. I expect, and then we're going to head north. But at the end of the day, what changes this race is my ability to win Ohio. And if any of these people can't win their own states, they probably ought to get out. We ought to consolidate the race. It's Ohio head-to-head. I beat Trump by 18 points. I've been hearing Trump's got the lead or at least tied. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm just a Trump supporter. I'm just going by what the polls I'm reading. And he's not leading in every goddamn state. I know that. He's not leading in Texas. One poll is showing him tied. And Cruz should be doing way better in his own state. But Ohio, I don't know about that. And even if Kasich wins Ohio, it's not going to help him. It's going to hurt Rubio and Cruz because Trump's in second place within the polls. That would put him in second. That's not good for the other two. But he goes on, why is that? Why is it that I'm running even with Donald Trump in Ohio without making any real effort in Ohio? Let me also ask you this. Why am I beating Hillary Clinton by more than any other candidate in the race? Is that because I'm not being combative enough? Take my positions, and I have a strong position. Yeah, he sounds like a Democrat to me, to be honest. And it sounds like he's staying in it, looking for a nod for a vice president bid. And he's keeping his name out there so he has name recognition. I mean, why else would he still be in it? Why? Now, we're going to change gears here. Oh, my throat's still killing me. CNN harasses Donald Trump on twice refunded KKK endorsement. Now, here's why I'm bringing it up, because this might be a little advice to Cruz and Rubio about this, that they may want to back off of attacking Trump on bullshit like this. Republican frontrunner Donald J. Trump declined to condemn white supremacist David Duke and the Ku Klux Klan on CNN's State of the Union on Sunday. He had done so already in August, as reported by Politico, and had even done so on Friday, as reported by the Hill. But CNN's Jake Tapper thought it was fair game to ask him again, and Trump apparently caught off guard, and I said that earlier, he was caught off guard, which he shouldn't have. He should have been ready for that. He dodged the question, claiming not to know who these people or groups are. So, the opponents and critics immediately seized on Trump's response as evidence that he actually supports the KKK and other white supremacists, or at least does not wish to risk losing their support. This is the exact same game the media plays against Republicans every single election. This is the warning for Cruz and Rubio. This is the game the media plays against Republicans every single election, regardless of the candidate. It's called Pin the Racist on the Republican, and it will be used on Senator Marco Rubio or Ted Cruz as readily as Trump. The media showed no interest in Barack Obama's active participation in Jeremiah Wright's racist church until it was too late, and then it praised his speech embracing Wright as some kind of Lincoln-esque orientation that should be studied by school children. The media did not ask Hillary Clinton about whether she is prepared to denounce Al Sharpton or to disassociate herself from crony Sidney Blumenthal over the anti-Semitic comments of his son, Max. Arguably, Trump could have answered better, and I've said that he could have done a better job. He has already declined the support twice. And he went on to, I've already answered that, Jake, and of course I condemn those groups. I do not want their support. But he clearly knew he was being set up with a quote from Liberal Anti-Defamation League, and therefore he was cagey. Inevitably, as is the platform or pattern with Trump, he will issue some clarification. His supporters will not fade, nor will his rivals relent. But if Rubio or Cruz are to win, they better watch their asses. They better watch their backs, because the media is going to do it to them. The media is going to play pin the racist tail on the Republican. Sorry about that. I had something else in my head. People, this is what's going to go on. And if you think Cruz is immune to it, or Rubio is, you're really sadly mistaken, because it's going to happen to your candidate. So your candidates need to watch throwing this around, because it can bite them right in their ass. And that's what I'm laughing about too, because they're not paying attention to that part. They're not paying attention. And all the stuff they're saying to try to attack Trump is going to be used against him. It happens every year. The Republicans shoot their mouths off, attacking each other. And then what happens? The Democrats use it against them. And no making fun of my Walt Disney World Cup. It's pretty neat. We went there, my parents, wife, and daughter. My parents paid for a vacation for us to go there, which is funny. We live in Florida. We're like 45 minutes to an hour from Disney. But we go there, and you buy these cups every day, and you get free drink all day long. So, I use it for coffee now. It's a small cup of coffee, but it's coffee. They're so worried, the Republican Party is, about attacking Trump and attacking each other, that they don't realize this is going to come back and bite them. This is going to come back and hit them when it comes time for the election. When it comes time for combating Democrats, they're giving ammunition to the Democrats, whether it's Trump, Rubio, or Cruz. Any one of the three, and I know there's a lot. Well, if it's Trump, I don't care. You friggin' moron. You've been crying that you want a Republican president. Oh, Trump's not a conservative. He donated to Democrats. So do Koch brothers. And I don't hear you crying that with the Koch brothers pointing and helping and deciding which way the Republican Party is going to do. They control the Republican Party, and you don't care that they that they donate to Democrats. Well, Cruz didn't mind Trump donating to Democrats when he was begging Trump for money at the beginning of this race. Knowing that he was in the race, they thought it'd be smart and begged for money. Trump has donated to Cruz on other occasions, which Cruz likes to deflect and doesn't like to admit that. He's taken money from Trump. Trump is a businessman. In the business world, you donate to both parties. And if you can't get that through your head, sorry, you don't understand. You do not understand business. Some basic business 101. You don't create enemies within politics. The man has been voting Republican since the early 80s. He's been a registered Republican since the early 80s. They talk about how he was against Reagan, which I don't understand. If he was against Reagan, why was the Reagan administration thinking about having Trump as the vice president at first? He helped financially huge. I hate to use that term. Huge. But what people are doing is they're repeating lies that the GOP are spreading, and the liberals are talking about. The liberals started this. Trump is Hitler. Trump is just like Hitler. Trump brown shirts. And conservatives are jumping on the bandwagon of liberal bullshit. Do you understand that, people, that you're jumping on the bandwagon and you're talking exactly like a liberal because it came from a liberal source? Nobody complained about Trump when he was donating to the Republican Party. No one questioned his conservative values then. Now, all of a sudden, they want to question. When he's not financing them anymore, they want to cry like little babies. When you start pushing some of these narratives that the liberals have started or the establishment started, you look like a moron. You really do. You look like a moron pushing this stuff. You look like a moron when you start bringing up this brown shirt and Hitler crap. Right there, I know you don't have anything worth talking about. Republican Party's going down the drain. And the GOP is driving that train. Taking the train down the drain. People, I'm not asking you to support Donald Trump. I don't care who you support. That's your constitutional right. But also give me the respect and courtesy to back who I want to. I don't need to hear your shaming, your insults, and all the other liberal tactics that you're using. You're not a constitutionalist if you're trying to force your candidate onto others. If you're trying to intimidate others by insulting and shaming, you are not a constitutionalist. You are breaking the Constitution where it is every person's right to pick who they want. That's what made America great, is that Americans were able to pick who they wanted to. They could pick who they wanted and support whoever they wanted without fear of reprisal, without fear of intimidation, whether it's through physical or psychological. It's the Constitution that says we have the right. Stop forcing your opinion onto others. You know what? If you're talking why you want to vote for your candidate, great. I don't get involved in that because it's not my place to push my candidate on you. We might have a conversation back and forth, but I am not going to try to change your mind and force my candidate on you because it is not my place. Nobody is respecting each other. And that is what's going on. Nobody in the Republican Party has respect for each other right now. And nobody is following the Constitution like we all talk about. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense show right here on hppundit.com, rebootingliberty.com, and shrmedia.com. We'll be right back.
Right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver Common Sense Show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cough was stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you missed any of the Reaver of Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show,
I don't want to be me. I don't want to be anymore.
just go to Reaver.one. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Remember, the Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here on shrmedia.com, hppundit.com, and rebootingliberty.com. If you want to join the live chat, go to shrmedia.com, click on the chat room button, join the conversation. If you want to see the live stream, just go to Reaver.1, click on the live stream, and you will see the live streaming of me. Because I'm cute and cuddly and everybody loves me. Everybody but Cruz supporters. So, there's a big announcement this weekend in Alabama, and it could be a game changer. I know Cruz was trying to get the endorsement. He didn't get it. Jeff Sessions endorses Trump, which I knew was coming. I saw that months ago. Jeff Sessions, Trump has been going to him for months, even before he announced his candidacy. Trump has been leaning on Jeff Sessions. And that's where Jeff Sessions is one of the many people that Trump has gone to for ideas and information. Sessions has helped Trump within the political realm of what to do and how to do it. And Rudy Giuliani is another one that has been helping Trump. And Rudy Giuliani even said that he is called up and sometimes, and they're personal friends, and he said, hey, Trump, you've gone too far. You need to back down. You need to go further. This is how you need to handle this, so forth. He's getting help from the outside. And those that actually have been watching Trump can see that Trump's calmed down since the beginning. He's calmed down a lot. But the 2016 GOP presidential frontrunner, billionaire Donald Trump, picked up the most significant endorsement any presidential candidate in the GOP can get here on Sunday. Senator Jeff Sessions. Sessions, the intellectual leader of the future of the conservative movement, has provided the brainpower behind the populist nationalist revolt against political elites that's been emerging since at least 2013. At a warm and windy rally here with thousands present in a packed football stadium just outside Huntsville, Sessions appeared on stage with Trump to back him for presidency. This is also I find funny. Nobody wants Cruz. Nobody wants Trump. Nobody wants Trump. Nobody wants Trump. I haven't heard of Cruz or Rubio or Kasich or, unfortunately, Carson. I do like Carson. I think he would make a good president. He has some faults that I think have hurt him. He's been too laid back. And everybody says they want a candidate that doesn't attack people and doesn't play this political maneuvering and the insults. Well, you have Carson who hasn't done that at all. And nobody supports him. Because he has that laid back. Because he's laid back, nobody supports him. And I'd like Carson, please. He was one of them that I wanted to see succeed. He has nothing to be embarrassed about. I mean, he's done stuff, not because he's black, but he's taken on these career politicians. And yes, Cruz and Rubio are career politicians. Look at their history. Since they got out of college or university, they have been on the tee of the American people. They've been working in government jobs. I know both of them did have jobs as lawyers along the way. Yeah, like 2 years max. Otherwise, they've been latched on to a government paycheck since getting out of law school. So both of them are established career politicians. Carson, nothing. Here's a brain surgeon. But everybody says they want a candidate that's nice and doesn't attack people. You got one. That's the problem. That nice and laid back. It doesn't, look like you have the aggression or the fierceness of a leader. I'm not saying he doesn't have it. It gives the appearance that he doesn't have it. But just as I was saying that, I mean, I don't hear Cruz, I don't hear Rubio doing the rallies in a packed football stadium. I haven't heard of Cruz or Rubio having to change venues because they've got so many people that want to come hear them talk. And a side note, Glenn Beck is getting caught lying again. Glenn Beck lying. Surprise, surprise. He was saying that Trump and the people in the crowd were nasty, mean, and all this other stuff when there's several people that were in the crowd that said, no, it wasn't nothing out of the ordinary. It was nothing extreme. It was nothing violent. It was nothing nasty. Glenn Beck was blowing it out of proportion. And these are people that are actually Cruz's supporters that are disputing what Glenn Beck, and he's been proven time and time again, he'll lie out of his mouth and know that they're lies. It's not like he was misinformed and accidentally gave wrong information. He outright lies. And that's who Cruz has backing him and being his religious mouthpiece anymore. I think Glenn Beck is hurting Cruz more than he's helping him. But as I was saying, Trump is in a football stadium outside Huntsville. Sessions appeared on the stage with Trump to back him for president. Sessions' endorsement provides Trump with even more legitimacy as Trump's two remaining serious opponents, Rubio and Cruz, attempt to undermine him in a desperate bid by the donor class to regain control of the party from the populace revolting in elections around the country. Sessions backing Trump is a significant blow to both Cruz and Rubio, as now the powerful Alabamian will be putting his entire operation all in behind Trump. Sessions' backing is the latest highest profile in a string of significant endorsements from Trump's rebel campaign. Now, this one came totally as a surprise, totally blew me off. When Governor Chris Christie announced he was backing Trump. After dropping out of the race himself, despite landing significant blows on Rubio in the final debate before New Hampshire's primary, backed Trump this week, as did the Maine governor, LePage, and former Arizona governor, Jan Brewer, as well as Representative Duncan Hunter. But all those endorsements pale in comparison to Sessions' backing of Trump, as the Alabamian senator is universally respected and feared inside the Beltway in Washington. Sessions is known for his tough views on immigration and trade, and has repeatedly aimed to push the Republican Party in a more populist nationalist direction. Sessions has helped frame the movement views on both issues and more, like courts and judicial nominations, law and order and police matters, and on budgetary issues and the fiscal well-being of America, while maintaining a formidable political and policy operation that his allies view as invaluable and his enemies dread. Sessions is the most highly sought after endorsement because of his respect party-wide. And he's been cited by Cruz especially frequently on the campaign trail. He has appeared with Cruz at events in Alabama and with Trump in Mobile, 5 hours south of here earlier in the cycle. He has also helped many of the GOP candidates, including Cruz and Trump, craft their policy position and has been, alongside his numerous allies on Capitol Hill in the House and Senate, a driving force in framing the populist nationalist future of the Republican Party. Donald, welcome to my hometown, Mobile, Alabama, Sessions said back in September when he appeared with Trump in Mobile. While wearing a Make America Great Again trucker hat that Trump has popularized, not an official endorsement then. The American people, these people want somebody in the presidency who stands up for them, defends their interests and the laws and traditions of this country. We welcome you here. Thank you for the work that you put into the immigration issue. I'm really impressed with your plan. I know it will make a difference, and this crowd shows a lot of people agree with that. Congratulations, welcome, and God bless. And what's funny is, the other thing I was going to mention earlier, Cruz and Rubio keep going on about, oh, you were given $1 million, you were given. You sound like jealous little kids. You sound like jealous little kids when you go on about Donald Trump's father, giving him or loaning him $1 million, which he paid back to his father. It wasn't given to him. It was a loan. Yes, back then and now, still $1 million is a lot of money. But you're going to say that's a reason he shouldn't run for president? That's a reason why he shouldn't say that, yes, things are messed up in this country and the middle class are getting trampled on? He can't talk about those issues? Because you sure as hell talk about them. And you are nowhere near middle class. Neither Rubio or Cruz are middle class. You act like you know what it is. I don't care if you came from a middle class family. I don't care. You haven't lived that life. You don't live in today's middle class. And Rubio, I don't make a lot of money. You and your wife make $500,000 a year. $500,000 a year is a damn lot. I could live comfortably probably about 10 years just on that alone. Comfortable. It's... Knock it off. You sound like childish, jealous little brats. Bringing up about his money. That's all it sounds like. Maybe your fanboys like hearing that. The rest of the world, the rest of us, you sound like a child, jealous child.
Look at that. His dad gave him $1 million and my parents didn't give me anything.
And that's all I hear. And I hear, well, Trump got $1 million from his parents. Yep, he was given. No, he was loaned. Get it right. You tried twisting. And then it was funny. I was watching an interview with Cruz. And he's sitting there telling... It was one of the Fox broadcasters. And I forget who it was. And he's, how dare you interrupt? You do not interrupt. You do... Hey, Cruz, shut your mouth. That's not your show. All right? That's not your show. That is his show. And if he wants to interrupt you, he's going to interrupt you on his show. Just like if somebody's on my show and I want to interrupt, I will interrupt. Because it is my show, not yours. You do not run it. You do not control it. And you sounded like a child again. You sounded like a liberal. Expecting everything belongs to you. Thinking everything is deserved to you. Everybody should just give in to you. And that's exactly how Cruz sounded on that video. Not soundbite. I watched a long time of it. It was like 10 minutes worth of it for the interview. And he has the balls to tell the host, do not interrupt me. How dare you interrupt me? Well, I'll interrupt you. It's not your show. It was his show. And you sounded petty. And you sounded like a Democrat. It's... Now that Sessions has officially backed Trump for president, his enormous respect amongst Republican voters nationwide, and especially in Super Tuesday states like here in Alabama and among Republican party-wide in Washington, is sure to give Trump a game-change level boost heading into Super Tuesday and future states. If Trump wins on Super Tuesday, he's polling ahead of his rival in almost every Super Tuesday state except Cruz's Texas. It sets him up for a significant battle to take down Rubio in Florida. Currently, Trump is polling well ahead of Rubio in Florida's senator's home state. An embarrassment for the young first-term senators. A win by Trump over Rubio in Florida would certainly end the Rubio presidential campaign, as the young senator and his campaign have promised publicly they will win Florida. Well, I'm going to also point out something about Rubio and Cruz, because everybody says how great they are. I seem to remember 7-8 years ago, everybody was complaining about a junior senator that had no experience. A junior senator's only experience as a lawyer and an adjunct professor. And what do we have? We have 2 junior senators. 2 attorney junior senators that have no real life experience. And that's what you want me to vote for? You want me to vote for those 2? A lot of bells are ringing and I'm hearing Obama. Junior senators that are attorneys. Yeah. I've had 7 years of that. I don't want another 4 or 8. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying Kafka, stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you missed any of the Reaver of Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show.
I don't wanna be me. I don't wanna be me anymore.
Just go to Reaver.1. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Remember, if you want to see a live streaming of the broadcast, you can go to Reaver.1, click on the live stream button, and, well, there I'll be. My ugly mug and all right on your computer screen. So, they're calling it the Trump effect right now. Fox News Channel brand takes 50% hit among Republicans. Just last week, a year-long tradition came to a screeching halt. You want me to put Fox on, the writer I asked his wife, and she replied, no, I'm done with Fox News. My job, or his job, is to monitor the mainstream media, which is something that eats up about 14 hours of his day that begins at 6 a.m. when the cable morning shows start. Lying next to me, my good sport of a wife suffers through about an hour of Morning Joe, whatever they call that left-wing garbage fire on CNN, and the rest. Out of habit, before I headed to my desk, without really asking, I always ask, you want me to put Fox on? Fox News has a problem, not just with his wife, but according to YouGov Brand Index Survey, the perception of Fox News among Republicans has hit a 3-year low, has declined by approximately 50% since January of this year. Basically, perception of Fox News has returned to those old bad days of Dick Morris days after President Obama won re-election. Much of the fall has come in the last few months. There is no question that this precipitous drop is the result of Fox's ongoing war with Donald Trump. This might be a good time to tell you that his wife is not a Trump supporter. Her frustration and disappointment in Fox News has nothing to do with her personal political preference. Like many, it is something much larger than that. Number one, the bias. Whether or not you support Trump, Fox News pro-Rubio GOP establishment bias is still as hard to swallow as the mainstream media left-wing bias. Bias is bias. It's manipulative, dishonest, and no one likes to be manipulated or lied to. MSNBC is a left-wing. CNN is even more left-wing. And if every Democrat turned into either, the ratings would crush Fox. Democrats don't tune in, though, because even Democrats hate bias. Fox ratings are still through the roof, but the people that have kept the fair and balanced network a juggernaut for more than a decade are losing respect for it. That could mean trouble when the excitement of the presidential campaign fades away. That could also give it upstart in opening. Number two, cluelessness. When it came to grasping the Trump phenomenon, Fox News was every bit as clueless and caught off guard as the bubble dumb in the mainstream media. A few of the opinion-driven FNC pundits like Sean Hannity, Eric Bolling, and Andrea saw the writing on the wall, but they were outliers who, when you look back, only make the rest of the network look clueless, especially the straight news division. And once the Trump phenomenon became achingly real, Fox either refused to acknowledge it or pretended it wasn't real. And the one thing that I've noticed is I think Fox is throwing a little bit of a hissy fit right now. And they're pretty upset because they thought they had such a success going. They thought they controlled all the Republicans. They thought they could tell us what to think, who to vote for, what to say, what to do. They thought just because we have been backing them for the last several years that we would do their bidding. Now, people went to them because they were trusting them, and not because these people were... They wouldn't lay down and follow. The people... They have their own brains. They have their own thoughts. And that's pissing Fox off. Because they really thought, and so did the GOP, they thought, oh, here we go. We can control everything. We can have Fox tell them what to think and what to say. They believed the Democrat hype. They were believing the bullshit that the left was pushing about Fox. Well, it seems us Republicans, us conservatives, aren't so dumb after all. We're not as easily manipulated like the GOP thought we could be. It's not what you thought, was it, Fox? And now you're upset. And now the GOP is upset because they think they could control us. Well, sorry. You don't control this, man. I think on my own. I always have and I always will. I can't say always have, because there was one time I followed and got my ass in a lot of trouble, and I never followed again. Nope. Fox they thought they had more control than they did, and it's showing because it's pissed off a lot of people. And they've insulted their own listeners, and GOP has been doing the same thing. The Cruz supporters, everybody has been insulting each other when come time for elections, when this whole primary season is done with, and everybody's going to be requiring everybody to come together. I don't know if we can all come back together right away. And it's not because maybe our candidate didn't get elected in. There's been so much insults and bad feeling towards each other that I don't know. It's not looking good for the Republican Party right now. We've been infighting so much. I don't know. The three-person pundit panel is supposed to represent the smartest thinking in politics on Brett Baer's special report. And yet for months and months, every Friday during Candidate Casino, a feature where the pundits award up to 100 chips/points to various presidential candidate, no one would acknowledge the Trump writing on the wall. Some even admitted they could not acknowledge it. The writers stay tuned into the roundtable, but now it's for the same reason I monitor the mainstream media, to get a feel for the talking points and wishful thinking propaganda coming from the GOP mothership. In fact, for the same reason I'm watching more Fox News than ever before. After all, his job is to expose media deception. Here's something I never thought I would write in my lifetime. CNN's handling of the Republican debate has been infinitely more professional, unbiased, and fair than Fox News. It's not even close. If you go back and look at the debates, CNN's Jake Tapper and Wolf Blitzers have outclassed Megyn Kelly, Chris Wallace, and Brett Baer by a wide margin. It is beyond comprehension that instead of Fox News, I wish CNN was hosting Thursday night's debate. So when he asked his wife why she is done with Fox News, her answer was simply, they're just like all the rest. And that sums up Fox News anymore. And they thought they had control of us. They thought they could tell us what to think, what to say, who to vote for. So they're not happy when we didn't follow their commands. And their brilliant idea was to attack us. And when I say attack, I mean a verbal attack. They thought it was smart. And this last debate that just went by shows me that Cruz is not this outside candidate. Cruz is an established candidate. Establishment candidate just much as Rubio is. I know he talks about how he is anti-establishment. Like I said, as he's been on a government paycheck almost his whole career. He spent like 1 or 2 years as a lawyer. Otherwise, he's been making a government paycheck. He is not anti-establishment. I could say I'm the Pope. That doesn't make me the Pope. And people are believing. He says he's anti-establishment. He's anti-establishment. He says he's a constitutionalist also, but yet he deceived voters to steal their votes. And I complained about Obama for that. I complained about Cruz for that. I complained about Obama supporters for blindly following Obama. And Cruz's supporters are doing the same thing. Cruz has admitted there was mistakes done in the Iowa primary night, primary caucus. He admits and he apologized, but it was an empty apology. Exactly like Obama has done for 7 years. They're empty apologies. But what's worse is his supporters still deny anything wrong was done, even though their candidate apologized and admitted they did wrong. That's what scares me. That's what really worries me is they go around. They don't even try to justify it. They just deny that it ever happened. How can you deny it when your own candidate has admitted it? And there's other instances of evil shenanigans that he's done. I mean, so far, most of the things are not legally wrong. Well, illegal. That was stupid of me, but they were morally and ethically wrong. It's the voter violation. I remember Obama doing that, and I remember bitching about it because I got one of them. I thought it was a lowbrow, cheap, disgusting attempt to try to shame me and threaten me into voting for him. Especially when both of them we will release your voting records to your neighbors. It is public information. So they're trying the shame tactic and forcing you to vote for him by shaming you. And that's what Obama did. And we complained as conservatives. But Cruz's supporters say nothing. They deny that's happening. And that is where conservative parties go into hell. We have bigger issues than Trump getting money from his daddy. We got bigger issues going on in the party. We've all been fighting each other. It's not good. I know I keep going back to it, but it's not a good thing. We have been attacking each other. And we're going to have to come together somehow to win an election. Trump supporters, for the most part, say if Trump loses fairly, we would support the nominee. I'll support the nominee if he loses fairly. But you have the Cruz fanboy supporters who say, I'm not going to vote, 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 it's your fault, it's your fault. No, it isn't. If you're going to act like that, put it on yourself. Stop trying to deflect your blame. Stop trying to deflect this off to everybody else and look at yourself. We got a long way to go, people. But you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on shrmedia.com, hppundit.com, and rebootingliberty.com. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cough was stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you missed any of the Reaver of Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show,
I don't want to be me. I don't want to be me anymore.
just go to Reaver.one. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. God, I'm a little bit off. So, welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. If you want to see the live stream, you can go to Reaver.one. That is Reaver.one. And click on the live stream button and click play. It's a live stream through YouTube, I believe it is. But it's going through something called Google Talk. So, I just said, someone put up something. I don't know why. I'm trying to, boost up my Facebook likes and all that. I don't know why. I really don't give a shit about all that. But some idiot decided that he was going to go on a rant about Hillary Clinton. All right. So, 2 former Republican Secretary of States also maintain private email servers. So, 3 wrongs make a right. It's wrong of them to have it, and it needs to be checked into to see if they released any top secret information. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat. I don't care if you're a goddamn Martian. If you did that, you are guilty, and you need to be tried for those offenses. Plain and simple. I don't care what initial you have before your or after. He then goes on to, but no problem with that, just as the Benghazi plot fell apart. I didn't know it fell apart. I see some woman lying and covering up for deaths of American, and people stupid, moronic like this, they actually, look at that, the Benghazi fell apart. Yeah, because none of the facts have all come out, and there's still more interviews to go, and you are dumb enough to make a statement like that. Leaving Republicans dumbfounded, so would this email brouhaha too. Yeah, that's why FBI is actually investigating, and they're looking at indicting now. They're trying to get indictment, but she's being protected by Obama so far. She's being protected. They have information. They have proof she had top secret information. It does not make it okay that others had it on their server. And then, this is the best part I like that I found funny. No human can stop Mrs. Clinton from becoming the next president of the United States. Thank you, Kelly. Let me stand up, and you can see all the weight I've gained since I quit smoking. I got fat. Ticking me off. Talking about Hillary Clinton is unstoppable. I heard that back in 2008. I'm pretty sure everybody else did. Everybody heard how you can't stop Hillary Clinton. She's going to be the president. Oh, wait, Obama got the nomination. Shit. I'm hearing the same. I guess it goes with their green, their whole global warming recycling thing. They're recycling their candidate and recycling their bumper stickers. So now they just have to erase the 08 and put 16. Halfwits. That woman is guilty as sin. Everybody but a Democrat backing her can see it, and it shows just how blind you are. You have a right to your opinion, but at least make an intelligent conversation. Now, what's here in Florida with good old Marco Rubio? I've heard all weekend, he's done great things. He's done great things. What he's done? He's done great things. What has he done? He's done great things. Give me an example. He's done great things. Well, how about displaced Disney workers? Shame on you, Marco Rubio, and we will stand with Trump. At Donald Trump's Sunday rally at Madison City Stadium, Senator Marco Rubio's own constituents, 2 displaced Disney workers, publicly denounced Rubio for prioritizing the interests of his big business donors over the interests of his own constituents. The two endorsed GOP frontrunner Donald Trump for president. There were two Disney workers who were informed that they were going to be laid off during the holiday season of 2014. They, along with scores of their colleagues, were told that before they were let go, they would be forced to train their low-skilled foreign replacement brought in on H-1B visas. Yes, great, Rubio, there's your accomplishment. You helped bring in more foreign workers to replace American workers that Democrats say doesn't happen. That has been a battle going on here in Florida where Disney forced these workers to train the replacements as they were brought in from other countries. They had to train them and then get laid off. And now we have American workers who can't find work because Disney wants to go shopping for cheaper foreign replacements. And Rubio helped facilitate that. Earlier this week, one of the gentlemen testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee about the humiliation he was forced to endure by training his foreign replacements, while Donald Trump has called on Disney to hire back all of these workers and has pledged to end H-1B job theft as president. Senator Marco Rubio has pushed to expand the controversial H-1B program. He has introduced two bills that would dramatically boost the issuance of H-1Bs. So we finally found, besides the fact that Rubio doesn't feel like he has to show up and do his job and vote, and there's actually supporters who argue that and say, no, that's not true, that's bullshit. It's a matter of record. It is there, it shows. And the three that are, and all the candidates that are worse at it were Graham, Cruz, and Marco Rubio. Well, he's campaigning right now. He can't be two places. Number one, bullshit. He can fly back and forth. I mean, he's charging American people to do it. And secondly, I'm not talking about during campaigning. I'm talking about his whole time as a congressman. His whole time in Washington, D.C., he has one of, not the, but one of the worst voting records. And when he does vote and introduce bills, he's introducing bills to help foreigners, not how to help the constituents, not how he can help the residents of the state of Florida. And then the Democrats complain to Rick Scott, our governor, and blame it on him, when it's Democrats and Senator Marco Rubio that are pushing for the expansion of these programs so that they can get paid all for their votes. And yes, that's what happens anymore. You get paid millions of dollars to vote yes. You get paid money to vote no. And not by the American people, by these lobby groups. They're all getting it. They're all getting paid off. As recently as last year, Rubio introduced that bill, endorsed by Disney CEO via his immigration lobbying firm, that would triple the issuance of H-1Bs. Disney is one of Senator Rubio's top financial backers, having donated more than $2 million, according to Open Secrets. What a great disappointment Marco Rubio is. Rubio's constituents and displaced Disney worker Dina Moore told the crowd, backed by Disney and other companies, to push through legislation that have brought H-1B visas to us, and he has sabotaged Americans. Rubio's staff said in 2013, explaining the guest worker expansion in Gang of Eight bill, American workers can't cut it. American workers can't cut it. Shame on you, Marco Rubio. The Disney workers were introduced at the rally by their attorney, who is representing them in the discrimination lawsuit against Disney, Sarah Blackwell. In her introductory remarks, Blackwell explained the thing about Trump that's different than anybody else is that he can't be bought. We have a chance to stop this problem in America. It's got to be by a president and politician where they won't be bought by Disney's CEO or by Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook. By all these billionaires who benefit from firing American workers. Americans are losing our jobs to foreigners, and politicians are supporting and or promoting this behavior. If we want to achieve the American dream, or even more importantly, keep what is ours, the American dream that we have already struggled to create, the American dream that others have sacrificed for us, now is the time to link arms with a champion. I believe Mr. Trump is for Americans first and foremost. He shares our vision, our dreams, and will fight for our future. I know most of you are already standing, but here's my mantra. Stand up for America. Stand up for a champion. Stand up for Trump. I do agree with those statements. I mean, you get back whoever you want. I'm not gonna say anything about it because that's your right. Whether I agree with your thinking on how you came about the support, that's your right. You want to talk about it, we can talk like gentlemen, like humans. But this atmosphere we got going on, it's my candidate or no candidate way, is not healthy. What I have seen this weekend, this past week, is absolutely disgusting. And if that is what conservative values are, yeah, I'll stand with Trump, but I'm not going to stand with the Republican Party. No. You degrade me, you belittle me, I'm not going to stand with you. Doesn't mean I'm going to become a Democrat and liberal. Hell no. Hell no. But have the conversations. Do it like adults. And I said earlier, and I'll stand by it, all the party supporters are doing it. Everybody's doing it. It doesn't make it right. Just because everybody's doing it does not make it right. And that's why I've been pointing out, and it's pissing people off because I'm pointing out the obvious. People, grow up. Let people decide for themselves. If you want to go and praise your candidate, go do it. But don't do it while you're trying to belittle or knock someone else down. And if you notice, as I'm saying this, I'm not saying Cruz, I'm not saying Rubio, I'm not saying Trump. I'm saying we the American people, we need to stop doing that. We need to stop letting politicians control us and turn us against each other. Respect each other for their decisions. I may not like who supported Obama, but I'll respect the fact they had the right under the Constitution to do it. I don't like the outcome of those decisions. But it is their God-given right in the United States to make those decisions as they see fit. They have the right to support who they want. They have the right to support Hillary. I hate Hillary for several reasons. And I'll stand up against that woman. But if someone wants to support her, fine, support her. Just don't come not trying to knock everybody else down. And that's what it seems like we're back in high school. And everybody's trying to knock each other down and belittle everybody. And then behind the backs trying to pat each other on the back. Do you actually think Cruz and Rubio hate each other? Do you actually think Rubio, Trump, and Cruz hate each other behind the scenes? Look at Chris Christie. He was slamming Trump. He was knocking Trump all over the place during the debates. Chris Christie steps out, and what does he do? He supports Trump. Number one, I'm pretty sure there's probably some deals in the background. You support me. If I get elected, you'll get something within my candidacy. Don't agree with it, but I know it happens all the time in the background. But also, I'm pretty sure they're all sitting there laughing afterwards with each other backstage. Example, because I've seen it with Trump. Rick Perry drops out. And they ask Trump, what does he think? And he compliments him on being a great guy, great person, has no issues with him, thinks he has a great career ahead of him. And what does Perry do? Attacks Trump. Same thing with Bush. Bush dropped out, and Trump tries to play the good sport. And says, he's a good person. I didn't take anything personal. He really pushed me to, the ropes. He really pushed my campaign, and it helped me. Thank you. He was a great guy, yada, yada, yada. And then Bush, like a sore loser, has to insult. I don't understand that. I mean, and what do you think is going to happen with Cruz or Rubio? With them losing like they've been, and if they get knocked out, I'm not saying they have to support the person, but there's what's called good sportsmanship, and hey, you shake the other person's hand and you go on. You learn from your failures. Too many people are acting like children in this election. Candidate and candidate supporters. Trump, Cruz, Rubio supporters. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and you're listening on shrmedia.com, hbpundit.com, and rebootingliberty.com. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver Common Sense Show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cough with a stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you missed any of the Reaver Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show.
I don't wanna be me. I don't wanna be anymore.
Just go to Reaver.one. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. And Kelly, yes, I agree. She posted an article. It's from 2011. And I didn't get to read it yet, but I was reading the title and everything, and I understand what it's meaning. I will read it after the show, but it's feuding hurts Republicans' hope to win Senate. And it's been going on for a while now. We've been fighting inside. They do it on purpose, because if we're too busy fighting each other, we're not going to be fighting our politicians. We're not going to be standing up to our politician. If they have Democrat versus Republican going at each other, we're not going at the politicians. Politicians are great at doing that, turning us on each other. And it's not conducive of a good relationship. And it does not get at the heart of the problem. And more we look into things, more we're finding out that the Republican Party, the establishment, are not exactly for closing the borders. And I don't think really many politicians actually are. I've been hearing about it for how many decades now, about closing the border, securing the border. And I honestly believe none of them, Democrat, Republican, Martian, Independent, Uranus, whatever, they do not want to solve this issue, because then that takes away one of their political campaign arguments. And both sides use it. You have the Republicans blaming Democrats yelling at the Republicans that they're not sensitive and all this other crap. And it's been going on. And I don't think a politician actually wants to solve this, because what are they going to complain about then? It starts to narrow down the list of what they can complain about the other party for. As you narrow that down, they're not going to be able to argue and get us against each other, that we're going to turn our attentions back to the politicians. So they keep us arguing with each other, and they never solve any of the issues. The establishment media won't tell you this Tuesday, but the Republican Party civil war is over and the establishment lost. Both of the remaining frontrunners, Trump and Cruz, are outsiders, and the insider, Marco Rubio, is history. Megyn Kelly, call your agent. Your lame horse cannot finish the race. When Jeb Bush left the presidential race last week after two humiliating out-of-the-running finishes in New Hampshire and South Carolina, the open borders wing of the Republican establishment all ran to Rubio's lifeboat. In their haste, they did not notice the Rubio lifeboat, so sad, had gaping holes in it. And I really don't think that Cruz is this outsider. When you have worked your whole life in government, you are not an outsider. Just because he says and he does some grandstanding, does not make him an outsider. But what the establishment media will not tell you after the Rubio campaign follows Bush, Kasich, Christie, and 10 others into the history book is that all of them had one thing in common. None of them offered a bold or convincing program for ending our national's catastrophic 30-year experiment with open borders. Only Trump and Cruz have done that, and only they have survived the epidemic of voter anger. Have you noticed how quickly the media rallied around voter anger as an explanation for the anti-establishment mood of the 2016 electorate? Has anybody noticed how when they say the angry voter, the emotional voter, they say it as a negative? They try to make it sound like, and I've witnessed now. I'm going to say Trump fans or supporters do it too. But I see it mostly because I'm talking to and getting into it with the Cruz supporters. And like I said, it's the other way. I'm not going to be blind about it. I know both sides. But I've watched as the Cruz supporters do the same thing. They try this, the emotional people. They're voting with their emotions. Yeah. So what? So what? Do you think our founding fathers weren't emotional when they stood up against England? You don't think they were angry when they stood up against England? People, you're trying to make it a negative. They're trying to say it's a negative. The media is trying to use it as a negative. They're trying to put you down, saying that your opinion doesn't matter because you're being emotional, because you are angry at the government. And they're trying to twist it around so that it's a negative. But understand this, our founding fathers were angry. Our founding fathers were tired. I'm not saying our founding fathers would have been Trump. I'm not saying that. I'm talking the emotion that the American people are having. It is a valid reason. It is a valid emotion. We have been mistreated by our government, and we're tired. We've played along for a long time. We've listened. We've played along with the establishment. We've gone along with their candidates. Now it's the people wanting to do it their way. Your way has failed time and time again. Maybe not failed because it's exactly what you want. It has been happening. But it's not what we want as citizens. They try this emotional, and I've seen it on Fox all weekend. I've seen it in the articles. I've seen it in the comments. They're emotional. You're emotional. You're not emotional? You're not joyful of your candidate? You're not supportive of your candidate? They're all emotions. Just the opposite of what most of us are feeling. And when it started, that's why also people went behind Cruz, because they were angry with the establishment. But then we're finding out Cruz is more like the establishment than we were led on to. Yeah, trust me, it's still very sore. And I'm starting to lose the voice again. And I don't know what's causing it. I got to get off my butt and go to the doctors again. See what's going on. Because it's not what they originally talked to me about. But I digress. Kel's in the chat room talking and my keyboard's messing up, so it's easier and I do it with Dave when he's in the chat room. And to show you, Dave is a friend of mine. And yes, I have gone at Dave too. Because I don't agree with comments he has made. He has the right to make them, yes he does, but I also have a right to respond. And with how I've been treated Like I said, when you want to make sexual comments about my wife and you want to make comments about my family, that's where I start to draw a line. That's where you're going to see the Jersey boy. That's when people are going to find out what a Jersey boy is. And I went after my own cousin. I went after my own cousin because of certain comments pro-Trump or pro-Cruz and bashing and all that. I went at him. No, I went after Dave a little bit. He put up he was being a smartass, and I'm tired. He didn't go after my wife. He didn't go after my family. But if you go to Reaver.1, and I forget which is the article, I've posted. People have made sexual comments about my wife because I'm a Trump supporter. They've made comments about my family because I'm a Trump supporter. The comment was how intelligent the guy was compared. He's more intelligent than my whole family because he went to a higher education school. Well, that doesn't mean you're smarter. Well, we went to the school of hard knocks and didn't have to pay a goddamn dime. In fact, we got paid to go through that schooling where he paid $40,000, $50,000 a year to be lectured. No, but I'm just making the point that it doesn't matter whether friends or not. I'm not going to lay down. I'm standing to my principles, no matter who they are. I'm not being hypocritical and just only doing it to people I don't know. I hate doing that. I really do, but I'm fed up. I'm pissed off. Yeah, I'm pissed off. You want to tell me I'm not a Christian because of who I'm voting for? You want to tell me that God's going to send me to hell because I'm voting for who I want to? You're going to start making sexual comments about my wife when she's not even in the conversation because you're trying to insult me, you're trying to belittle me because you want me to vote for who you want to vote for? Nah. What's In Living Color character? Homie, don't play that. God, I missed that show. That was funny as hell in Living Color. Well, it is getting that time. It just blew by today again. Like I said, Kelly, I posted them up on my webpage with the people's name and everything. I have no problem. I had a guy, we were going back and forth, and he's telling me how I'm holding hands with the devil because I'm not voting for his candidate. Then he thought it was smart to private message me and call me a flamer. And then tell me it was because I'm acting like a liberal, so I'm a flamer. Not because flamer is a derogatory homosexual comment. Like he was actually meaning when I pulled it back into the forum in public and put screenshots. Oh, he got pissed. So, another show has gone by, and hopefully you'll be here tomorrow and the next day and the next day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. I will see you tomorrow. Right here on shrmedia.com, hppundit.com, and rebootingliberty.com. Peace.
I've been around this world, yet I see no end. All shall fade to black again and again. This storm that's broken me, my own.